Today, for a Tuesday, we're at the field house at the home of the Lions Den. A couple of interviews for you, getting ready for the Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine Friday night game of the week. It is Pine Richland and Woodland Hills. And Sunday on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show, right after local news at 11. Coach Ladon, Coach Tarrant, they of course, Pine Richland, Woodland Hills. So join me and we'll recap the game. But tonight, we're going to focus on a number of things when we hit the airwaves right after local news at 6. But for the moment, it's all about football and my beloved alma mater, New Brighton. Coach Galtieri. It's Riverside this week. A couple of teams looking for their first win. But before we get to any of that, I know it's frustrating. All the alum want you to start to win. Obviously, numbers, things you're dealing with. And one thing I've said many times about high school football, everybody talks about those who win the championships and the perennial powerhouses and the teams that are there year in and year out. But there's real parity in high school football in all classifications, from 1A to 6A, and there are those teams that continue to struggle. New Brighton is not the only one. You're taking on Coach Han and Riverside. They haven't won this year. So more stories like this, but you still have to give the story to you because it really takes someone, I think, who has the ability to overcome some tough obstacles, and that's truly the backbone of coaching, teaching, people who work in these districts, alumni like me, the boosters, all of the people that continue to do what they do, even though the wins aren't there. So before we do anything, a lot of people, including the Pratte Pack, support this program, right?
I appreciate it. That's one thing that I've always had is the support from not only the school, but the community, the parents, and the players to move this forward and trusting that our vision's the correct way and have given me all the support I've asked for and even more. So I appreciate all that support, not only to myself, but the players. I mean, the parents and the fans are still coming out supporting us each Friday night and then Monday through Thursday when we're here practicing, whether it be a team meal after practice or just any of the fundraisers we have going on, and it's constant support in the positive way.
Spent a little time with Coach Baylog at Freedom yesterday, and this conference is still as competitive can be, but now you've got all that talent with a familiar name from New Brighton, Florence at Western Beaver, last week, talent, Elwood City, Coach Bradley doing some incredible things there. Recently he took on them. So there is a lot of good football in this conference.
Oh yeah, I think across the Whitfield we have one of the more competitive conferences in all of the Whitfield. Each week is a grind, and you got to show up and have your players ready because some of these other schools like Beaver Falls, Neshannock has a great squad this year, Western Beaver, and Mohawk have great programs, and that's something we get to see firsthand that we strive to be and see what it takes to be elite. It's a team I fully trust that you'll be watching Acroshore Stadium late November with one of our teams that's holding up the championship trophy.
Here's what I admire about this guy, and everybody in the district, everybody on the school board. Hear what your Pratte Pack has to say. Always there when I need him, always upbeat, always positive. His shoulders are never shrugged, his head is never down. You believe in the Crimson and Gold, and you know that the journey may be a little tough. The task is going to be difficult, but eventually you'll get this thing turned around.
Yeah, absolutely, and it starts with our kids. I mean, we said it this year, our wins and loss may look different than other teams. It may not be on the scoreboard, but I've seen so much, and the other coach have seen so much growth individually as with all of our players and their development and their skills and their maturity and just overall people, and that's a win in my book. At creating and being positive influences on our players and seeing their growth not only on the football field, whether it be in the classroom or the community, and I think that's a win. We may not have any on Friday night, but there's been plenty of program wins that I'm proud of right now.
Listen, I also got to give a shout out to my longtime friend, former state representative Mike Beon, and I'll say it again, when he was in government, Beaver County thrived, and I found out that Beon in the program that you read when you come to Oak Hill, it's his grandson.
It is his grandson. Mike Beon's a junior receiver and defensive back for us, who's really propelled into a prominent role. He's one of the guys and focal points of both of our offense and defense game plans, and I believe he has over 36 receptions and over 650 yards and 11 touchdowns. So he's doing a lot of positive things for us, and he's really setting the tone for everyone in the standard that we need to have.
All right, listen, let's just talk about moving forward, off-season, some games left to be played. But what do you really think you need to focus on the rest of the way? Obviously, hopefully to get a W, but something you can build on during the offseason and getting more people to buy in. The numbers continue to go up. The younger student athletes who are coming up, wanting to be a part of this tradition?
Yeah, I think the first thing is these next 2 weeks could really build a really positive momentum for the program moving forward. But then from there in the off season, getting in the weight room, me getting into school, I'm encouraging all of our players to play multiple sports. I want all athletics in New Brighton to succeed, not just football. I want to see 25 guys on the basketball team so they have the best basketball team they can have. Same with baseball and track. So I really promote our guys playing multiple sports and getting that culture, being coached by various voices throughout the district, because we've got some of the best coaches in the Whitfield.
All right, listen, I can't thank them enough. We got one more before I head to KDKA. That's coming up next, so stay with us. We're at the Field House at Oak Hill in Brighton, Pennsylvania.